Marco is killing millions of people to form a nation. Is that not how this nation was formed?
Last time we spoke, it was right before season 5, and I asked you if Marco was a villain, and you said you didn't believe in that concept when it came to him. What are your feelings about season 6 and Marco?
I think season 6 is actually revealing a lot of the things that we spoke about last time, which is that underneath all those facades, the fire, the compacted furnace of trauma and pain and fear and all that's been compacted is finally coming to a head, is finally cracking open and coming to the surface. It has been the fire that has fueled him all along, but season 6 we actually have that revealed, and we gain much more insight into his psychology and even a glimpse of his inner child and his history that led to this person being able to carry out all that he's carried out.
Cara Drummer has had that same trauma, as a belter as well.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of season 5, she has this beautiful found family. But all of that has started to break apart. We get to her season 6, and she is just barely holding together.
Accurate. She has to prioritize the health and safety of her family above all else. And that becomes very clear to her. And she is so alone. And I imagine her being... I imagine that she feels almost like she is already dead. And she is a true warrior in that way, that she has nothing left to lose. I think that there's no easy way out for her. So I don't know if she gets her moment in the way that, all's well that ends well, but I think that she takes the only path that she can.
What does family mean to Marco? Because it means something different.
I think Marco's notion of family is really informed by his narcissism, which is the way that he handles his trauma. He sees them as the people he needs in order to survive, but who are actually chess pieces. And this is what leads to a lot of the conflict with Philip, is that Philip is not seen as an independent human being. Philip is seen as an appendage. Philip is seen as his mini-me in many ways. But at the same time, for all of his mission is that as a young single father, he vowed to himself that he would not allow his baby to experience the same injustices and harms and betrayals of his humanity that he had, and was willing to do whatever it took in his life in order to make sure that that happened. It's a very dysfunctional family dynamic, but it is still rooted in love. It was important for me to try and portray that struggle, the desire to love and the inability to simultaneously.
Looking at both of your characters, which do you feel best represents the Belter's past, and which do you think best represents the Belter's future?
I mean, I think that one of the beautiful things about this show is that there's no clear-cut answer. I mean, sovereignty for an oppressed group of people, you know, forming a nation is going to be complicated, and there is no one best way forward but to grapple with, you know, the separate factions within the belt, and to, I mean, I think ideally do the best by the greatest number of those belters, right? Like, everyone's going to have different ideas of how it should go.
Yeah. What does it take to overthrow tyranny? What does it take? And this is really the divide between Marco and Drummer, is that Marco would describe what Drummer's willing to do as compromise, or playing with the colonizer, playing with the power holder that will never concede any power to you. But Marco's answer is it's the tyranny itself. It's whatever it takes to have that tyranny end. It's actually representative, I feel, of some of the feelings of like, what do you expect us to do when you never take us into account and your entire system is dependent, is built specifically to hold us down.
You know, Marco is killing millions of people to form a nation. Is that not how this nation was formed? That's how it's done. That's literally the history of this land.
I mean,
And the 1%, the power holder, will never teach or broadcast that it's okay to use force or violence to overthrow the master. Of course, they're continually going to program that that's not okay and label anybody who does that as violent. That's how it works. You rewrite history and you make yourself look like the good guy and you make everyone else who challenges your power look like the bad guy. The future of the belt is in whoever is willing to do whatever it takes to overthrow tyranny, and I would argue that that's Marco and his Free Navy.
So many shows give lip service to diversity and inclusion in both casting and script writing. But The Expanse really dug in and made us sit there with the reality of how we as marginalized voices are treated. From that perspective, do you ever think about how profound your characters or the show is?
All the time. All the time. I'm so aware and so grateful to be with this group of people. I remember at a brunch way back in maybe season 3, I was sitting with Dom and Frankie and Nadine and myself and like Jess Salguero, maybe it was season 4. And we were all just like kind of looking around and like, you know, on most shows there'd be room for one of us. But the fact that we're all here and we all get to represent these like very different, very complicated, very powerful women is very meaningful and very powerful, and that is disrupting the status quo in a massive way. You still don't see that. We still don't see that on television.
And something else that I think is really valuable is that we actually receive a taste of the voice of the oppressed.
I couldn't be more proud to be with this group of people that has prioritized that. Like, you have to demand that, you know, and that comes from Narain, that comes from Ty and Dan, that they had to demand that for this to be. It doesn't happen by accident. It's not a coincidence. And it has made our show so much more rich and so much more complex because it is a truly collaborative show. And having all of those different voices be a part of this tapestry that we're creating together just makes it a better show.